And welcome in to WCBN Sports here at Yost Ice Arena. I'm Perry Mourtzinos alongside Caleb Brown, and we will be with you for this matchup between the Michigan Wolverines and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. These two teams met last night here at Yost. Michigan came out with a 5-2 win. Caleb, what are you looking for in this one? What are you excited for in this Big Ten matchup?
It's a pleasure to be alongside you tonight, Perry, in one of the greatest venues in college hockey. Really excited to see these two iconic programs face off tonight here in the arena. I'm excited to see what both of these teams have to offer as we start this early second semester of the 2025 through 26 college hockey season. Very excited to see what we have in store for us tonight. Currently, the Wolverines are the #1 ranked team in the nation, although ironically only second place in the Big Ten. A very interesting spot to be in, 16-4 overall record, and on the other hand, the Fighting Irish are 4-13-1 at the moment, but they have a chance to start their second semester strong, and especially with a quality win tonight, they could really get that going.
Absolutely. Michigan scored 3 goals in the second period, which was really the dominant period in their win last night. Those goals scored by Am Valentini, who had the power play goal in the first period. Then Spence Draper and Asher Barnett scored in the second period before Brennan Ali tacked on an even strength goal for the Fighting Irish, and then Nick Moldenhauer came right back, getting that Michigan Wolverines the 5-2 win. In the win, Jack Ivankovic, 29 saves compared to 28 for Nicholas Kempfer. Two great teams, obviously two esteemed programs. You got Michigan in the yellow tonight, and then Notre Dame with their classic gold helmets. It should be a fun one. Ton of talent on each side, ton of NHL talent.
Yeah, I could not agree more. I'm excited to see what these teams are going to do tonight. Yeah, two very iconic hockey programs going at it tonight. Here in Yost, we couldn't ask for anything more. We're in for a treat tonight.
Absolutely. As Caleb said, Michigan, the #1 team in the nation, the #1 team in the Big Ten, 17-4, 8-3 here in conference play, compared to 4-14 and 1 for the Fighting Irish overall, 0-9 in conference play, as both teams go to their respective nets for the pregame huddle as we get set for puck drop here at Yost Ice Arena. It will be Michigan's third line of Ernest, McKinney, and Valentini starting the game, as well as Duke and Fantilli as the D-line pair. Of course, Jack Ivankovic is your goalie. Same goalie as last night. Nicholas Kemp is also in net for the Fighting Irish. It will be Danny Nelson and McKinney here at the face-off dot. Center ice. Puck dropped. Draw won by Notre Dame. Dumped in along the boards. Mazzotti hits it back along the net where Duke chips it on to Colt McKinney. McKinney dumps off for Valentini out of their zone. Ernest dumps into the Notre Dame Fighting Irish zone now. Ernest sends a puck out in front, nobody home. Klumlin up the ice, his pass is intercepted by Fantilli. Fantilli over to McKinney. That puck will trickle all the way back to the Michigan zone for icing. 19:29 left in the first period, 0-0 still here at Block Cancer Night at Yost Ice Arena.
And just in these first 30 seconds, we've seen a whole lot of domination from the Wolverines as they continue to keep the puck on the Fighting Irish side. That's a good start for them.
It will be the sophomore, Michael Hage, in the face-off dot. Danny Nelson Hage was out to Team Canada over the holiday break. That draw was won by Notre Dame and controlled in their end. Chipped up along to Mazzotti. He's working against Dakota Ray Mullen. And Daniel Robertson able to clean it up for the Wolverines as he will bring it out of his zone. Over the league leader in goals, Will Horkoff dumps it to Spence across for Hage. That one's tipped off. Dale Robertson chips it back in behind the Fighting Irish net. As Malcolm Spence goes into the corner, loses a stick. Horkoff battling with a couple Fighting Irish. Hage behind the net over to Spence. Spence sending back once more over Daniel Robertson at the blue line. A little spin move on Evan Werner, the former Wolverine. Sends out in front, deflected by Kempf and controlled by Irish defenseman. Up to Jadon Kerr now, who dumps it in as the Fighting Irish will go in for a change. Ivan Kovic settles it over to Robertson. Puck thrown on net. Ivan Kovic with a routine save. As Raymond takes his time, surveys the ice. Tries to get up to Moldenhauer. That's intercepted by Brendan Ali of the Fighting Irish, who he will go off for a change. And now Cole Knuble sends one up. That is Cole Brown now for the Fighting Irish. Down, back over to Cole Knuble. Puck taken away by TJ Hughes. TJ Hughes up the ice, 3-2 Wolverines. Over Nick Moldenhauer. TJ Hughes dumps out in front, no one home. 0-0, just under 18 minutes left to play here in the first period. Irish forced to play a long one up the ice. Cole Brown wins the race, waves off the icing against Drew Schock. Schock wins the puck though, so he gets over to Asher Barnett. Barnett over to Garachivsky. Garachivsky with speed, backhand, blocked, saved by Nicholas Kempf, and Aiden Park puts in the rebound for the Wolverines, 1-0. 17:34 left in the first period. That was Barnett to Shifsky. Threw one off the pads of Nicholas Kempf. Aiden Park there to clean up the puck and put it in for the Wolverines.
Yeah, there was no one at home for the Fighting Irish in the center ice during that play. But no, with all due respect, that's a brilliant goal for the Wolverines. A great one, and they're up early.
Nicholas Kempf made the initial save. Probably could have done a little bit of a better job corralling the rebound. Aiden Park, though, found himself all alone with an open net. 1-0 Wolverines, 17:30 left in the first period. As Ernest controls in the Michigan zone, plays up to Valentini, who cannot catch it cleanly on his stick. As Notre Dame win back the puck. That is Niko Jovanovic for the Wolverines. He loses, or for the Fighting Irish, excuse me. He loses the puck to Wolverine as Colt McKinney chips it down behind the Irish net. Hayden Park lays a big hit on Fighting Irish defenseman, but the Irish are able to get the puck down into the Wolverine zone. Fantilli controls the puck, dumps it back off to Duke. Now he's behind the Michigan net. Duke over Shifsky. Keenan Draper calling for the puck. One-on-one against Kempf. Back and forward, saved by Kempf. Draper looking to go 5-hole. That's puck back out in front of the Fighting Irish net. Draper's fighting for it against Jadon Kerr. Kerr wins it. That was, the Irish will try and break out of their zone. That was Keenan Draper one-on-one with Nicholas Kempf. 1-0 Wolverines, 16:20 left in the first period. This puck bouncing in front of the Fighting Irish net. Notre Dame controls the puck in their own zone. Danny Nelson wearing the C tonight for the Fighting Irish, dumps it down. Raymond will chip it along his own boards to Malcolm Spence. Spence loses the puck. Fighting Irish shot from Jimmy Yursev. The extra skater goes high. As now the Wolverines are able to control it. Hage, Horkoff. Up in the Fighting Irish attacking zone. Missed feed from Horkoff to Hage, and the Fighting Irish will come the other way. Cole Knuble over to Fisher. Fisher shoots, saved by Evan Kovic. Puck trickles wide. Battling now behind the Wolverine net is Barnett, Hage, and an assortment of Fighting Irish. As the Irish are able to get fresh skaters out on the ice. Puck still in the corner. Eventually it's won by Michael Hage, who gets it out of Drew Schock. Schock loses the puck briefly, is able to chip away from Cole Brown, who retrieves the puck and sends it back in. Malcolm Spence finally able to get some control for the Wolverines as Will Horkoff gets past the red line and dumps it in as the Wolverines will go for a change. 1-0 Wolverines, under 15 minutes left to play in the first period. Puck bouncing along neutral ice, Fighting Irish finally able to corral it. As Tyler Duke tries to send the stretch patch up to TJ Hughes, that's intercepted by the other captain of the Fighting Irish, Mastro Domenico. Still nobody really able to control the puck here for the last 30 seconds. Fleming dumps in for Slagart into the Michigan zone. Mania wins the race. Fleming comes back in for the Fighting Irish. Jovanovic shots off the crossbar. That was another one-on-one chance between Ivan Kovic and Jovanovic, and Jovanovic just played off the top of the crossbar and deflect out play.
That was a good chance by Notre Dame, a very good shot, but that's why Ivan Kovic is there, and he's one of the best in the business at saving those pucks, and he showed it right there.
1-0 Wolverines, 14-13 left to play in the first period. Irish win the faceoff. Puck shot on net just wide. Hispano Femus will go in the corner for the Fighting Irish. Valentini wins the pass back to the blue line. He's got Yursev coming back, fires a shot wide on Nicholas Kemp, and the puck will trickle all the way back over the Michigan defensive zone. Colt McKinney settles. Gets up to Josh Ernest. Puck deflected out by Brennan Ali. Ernest able to retrieve it and sends a pass to no one in the neutral zone. Femus over Brennan Ali. He loses the puck. It's McKinney again carrying it over center ice. McKinney will just dump it in on net. Nicholas Kempf opts not to freeze it, and the puck trickles out back to Axel Kumlin, an assistant captain here for the Fighting Irish tonight. Keenan Draper over at Aim Park. He crosses center ice now. He's able to settle and takes a survey of the ice. Park throws one on net, doesn't get there, as Paul Fisher deflects out for the Fighting Irish. Drew Schock goes for the catch and misses it, and Asher Barnett has to come over corral. 1-0 Wolverines, under 13 minutes left to play in the first period. Drew Schock in on Nicholas Kemp, save, rebound. Out there for Keenan Draper. He whiffed on it, however. As now the Fighting Irish come the other way. It's Cole Brown and Dasha Oliver. Brown, Davis, score! Fighting Irish get right back as Cole Brown was able to find Jaden Davis at center ice, who threw it on net. Ivan Kovic had no chance on that one.
Yeah, the transition by the Fighting Irish was absolutely flawless in that series. That's a good goal right there.
1-1, here's the score, 12:41 left in the first period. Jay Davis, his first goal of the season, getting from Cole Brown's 8th assist. Dasha Oliver also getting assist credit on that one. Hagen, the goal scorer, Davis in center ice. Face off won by Hages. Duke carries it into the Fighting Irish zone. He dumps it along the boards for Malcolm Spence. Malcolm Spence chips it back that way. Puck is tipped, cleared up and out over the boards, as the puck will be, the refs are deciding where they're going to want to drop the puck. It's going to be inside the Notre Dame Fighting Irish attacking zone as both teams head to their bench for a quick ice scrape. 1-1, 12:30 left in the first period. Caleb, what have you seen from the Wolverines here to start the game?
I've seen a lot of domination, especially early on into the first period. They were being able to create chances, and they caught the Fighting Irish off guard a lot of times in those series. And I think that had they had a little, they would probably be up by 1 or 2 goals, I would say. But the Fighting Irish have stayed in it, and they have pulled off a great equalizer, kind of into the middle of this first period. So still anyone's game for now. We'll see what happens in these next 12 minutes.
The Wolverines scored early to open the scoring here in this one, as Aiden Park cleaned up a rebound chance off of Garrett Shifsky's drive to the net. The Fighting Irish answered at 12:41 left in the first period on a pass from Brown to Jay Davis into the slot. We fire a low wrist of blocker side on Ivan Kovic. 6 shots for the Wolverines, 4 for Notre Dame. As Hage, it will be Hage and Mazzotti in the Michigan attacking third. Mazzotti wins the face-off, sends it all the way along the boards. So that will be Pano-Femus. He throws it in. Fantilli there to clean it up. Duke plays it along the boards to Horkoff. Horkoff dumps off for Hage. 3-on-2 on-man rush for the Wolverines. Hage over Spence. Spence surveys, drops, toe drags. Tries to chip out in front. No one there. This puck will corral all the way back into the Michigan defensive zone, where Tyler Duke opts to play quickly out of Michael Hage. Hage to Horkoff. Horkoff in the slot. Feeds it to Hage. Hage just couldn't get a clean stick on that one, as the Wolverines will change. Pano-Femus dumps it into the Michigan defensive zone, as Robertson plays one up to Mollenhauer. Mollenhauer to Hughes. Hughes back over Mollenhauer. Chips it back to Hughes. Shot blocked by the captain, Mastro Domenico, as the Fighting Irish will come right back the other way. Ivanovic dumps it in. Ivan Kovic opts not to pass it to his defenseman, Ben Robertson, but the Wolverines will come back the other way. Puck being chipped around in the neutral zone. Eventually it's Carter Slaggert over in the Michigan defensive zone. He gets it over to Max Fleming, the 4th line center. Dumps it in. Puck corrals out in front. Shot saved by the right pad of Jack Ivan Kovic. That was Max Fleming with the great chance for the Fighting Irish. Cole Knuble drives into the Michigan zone. Puck eventually out to the point. That's Axel Kumlin. Gets a one-time shot. Barely gets to Ivan Kovic. He didn't really see that one. The puck is eventually stopped and corralled by the former Wolverine, Werner. Werner's pass gets back out to the points. Kumlin again. Throws one off the boards. Drew Schock there for the Wolverines. He chips up to Ernestine. Gets up to Am Valentini. Center ice gets laid out by Cole Brown. As Jane Davis now in the offensive zone. Cole Brown tries to shoot. Deflected and goes wide of the Michigan Wolverines net. Puck eventually thrown back in by Evan Werner, being pinned up against the boards. 1-1 here in this one. Just under 10 minutes left in the period. Notre Dame Fighting Irish controlling the play right now, looking for Caden Carlisle backdoor, just unable to get it. Puck still in the Wolverines defensive zone. Drew Schock trying to corral and clear, cannot do so. Keenan Draper now working in the corner. Caden Carlisle gets a shot on net, blocked by Draper. Puck comes out to Ernestine. Ernestine fumbles along with it, is forced to send it all the way down the ice for icing, and the Wolverines unable to get a much needed change. So this has been a long shift for Ernestine, Schock, Barnett, Valentini, and Draper, and it will only get longer as they're not allowed to change on the icing call. 1-1, 9:22 left to play. Each team evened up in shots as well, 6-6. Draw one by Draper. Barnett finally able to clear it. All the way down though for another icing. And the long shift continues. Children of Yost a little bit unhappy with the call, as they thought it might have been tipped by a Notre Dame player. But for now, the referee's trying to sort out.
Yeah, this one will be a crucial face-off for the Wolverines, as this one's happening right in the Wolverine territory, very, very close to the net, dangerously close. We'll see how it goes out.
Finally, the referees are able to figure out who should be on the ice, who should be off, as that face-off's won by Draper. Barnett tries to clear, cannot get by Henry Nelson at the blue line. As he chips it back in, Draper to Ernestine, and he's finally able to clear. Trying to dump it in as he gets over the red line, unable to do so. Great stick there from Mastro Domenico. That's going to be a penalty coming up on Garrett Shifsky, it looks like.
Yeah, an unfortunate break for the Wolverines. They had a great chance right there. Could have easily gone into the net, but they'll delay that for the penalty.
Holding is the call on Garrett Shifsky. As him and Michael Mastro Domenico, the Fighting Irish captain, just kind of got tangled up. As Domenico is trying to spin clear of Garrett Shifsky. 1-1. It's actually going to be 4-4, excuse me. Both players going to get a penalty for holding. Interesting call there. 4-on-4 as TJ Hughes loses the face-off to Cole Knubel. Puck comes out to James Perron at the blue line. He makes a move past Danny Nelson, makes another move, shot on net, saved by Kemp. Back out of the blue line, TJ Hughes opts to take it off the zone and keep puck possession. TJ Hughes back into the Notre Dame zone now. Sends one out in front, Kemp save, rebound corralled by the goaltender. 1-1, 8:34 left to play. Two huge saves there by the Notre Dame goaltender, Nicholas Kemp. As it will be Michael Hage taking the face-off against Mazzotti. Hage gets thrown out of the face-off dot. Will Horkoff, the nation's leader in goals, will take his spot. Asks Dakota Ramon to move over to the other side. Horkoff loses the draw. As Henry Nelson able to get it on over to Jadon Kerr, who drops it back off. Shot on net here by Evan Werner. Easy save for Ivan Kovic. A weak backhand wrister from Werner. Puck frozen. 1-1 Wolverines. 1-1, excuse me. Wolverines Fighting Irish. 8:21 left in the first period. It will be Mazzotti and Hage in the face-off dot once again. Mazzotti wins the draw out to Henry Nelson at the blue line. He gets over Werner. Werner to Kerr. Shot saved by Ivan Kovic. Rebound back out to Jadon Kerr. Kerr drops it back off to Werner, working against Michael Hage. Hage being physical at the blue line. Jadon Kerr able to dump it back off. As Mazzotti crosses out in front, no one there except for Will Horkoff. He sends a saucer pass over to Duke. Duke drops off for Hage. Hage makes a move on Henry Nelson, tries to find a cutting. Fantilli not there, unfortunately. Will Horkoff's shot is blocked by his teammate, Michael Hage. He's pushed to the ground by Henry Nelson. As the whistle blows. It appears that the puck just got trapped under Michael Hage for a brief second, which is why the whistle is blown. Regardless, it's a Michigan offensive zone faceoff. TJ Hughes against Mazzotti. Mazzotti wins his third consecutive faceoff. Nelson leaves it for Werner. Back over to Nelson. Still behind the Fighting Irish net. Eventually, Mazzotti finds a streaking Werner. Werner back over to Mazzotti. Working against Ramon, gets a toe drag. Ivan Kovic able to control the puck there. 1-1 between the Wolverines and the Fighting Irish. 7:26 left in the first period. Cole Knubel wins the faceoff. Fisher at the blue line, 20 seconds left in 4-on-4. Kumlin throws one on net. Doesn't get there, blocked by Wolverine out in front. Kumlin controls the puck, drops off to Brennan Ali at the blue line. Ali surveys the offensive zone. Puck being bounced around into the corners. Malcolm Spence and Ali working against each other. Eventually, the Fighting Irish able to corral. Knuble over to Kumlin, and we're back to even strength. Still in the Michigan defensive zone. Shifsky and Knuble in the corner. Eventually won by the Wolverines. Out of neutral ice, they give it right away. Now it's Deshaun Oliver working against Ivan Kovic. Backhand saved by Ivan Kovic. Ben Robertson chips out Nick Mollenhauer. Gets one more over to Garrett Shifsky. Into the Notre Dame third. Loses the puck briefly to Cole Knuble. Puck wheels around. Eventually finds the extra skater, Jimmy Yursev. Drew Shaw gets cross-checked by Cole Brown. No call from the official. Brown over Davis in front. Whiffs. Shot by Yursev. Up and off the backboards. Puck cleared up by McKinney over to Ernest. Trying to find Valentini in front. He whiffed on a puck, trying to dump it off into the offensive zone. Darshell Oliver will go the other way. He dumps it behind the Wolverine net. Barnett and Davis working. McKinney gets in there as well. He wins it. Over to Drew Schock, who's able to clear the zone. It goes all the way down past the goal line. That's going to be icing on the Wolverines. 1-1, 5:37 to play. Face-off forthcoming in the Fighting Irish offensive zone. McKinney and Fleming. Face-off won by McKinney. Eventually, Michael Mastrodomenico finds the puck on his stick, shoots it high. Puck out at neutral ice now. It's the captain, Mastrodomenico, who will dump it back into the Michigan zone. Ivanovic working against Shaw. Gets out of Ernest now. Ernest across the neutral zone. Will Horkoff brings into the Fighting Irish zone. Horkoff behind the Notre Dame net. Michael Hage unable to help him. As Max Fleming wins the puck back, trying to get out of Carter Slagart, who throws it out into the neutral zone where it's controlled by Matthew Mania. Mania over to Horkoff. Horkoff finds Malcolm Spence backdoor. Spence around the Notre Dame Fighting Irish net. Over Mania. Mania over Fantilli. Fantilli back to Spence. Spence one-time shot saved by Kempf. Didn't get all of that one. Puck retrieved by Spence. He lost it, however. And that'll be Danny Nelson out for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Puck gets tangled up in the skates of Luca Fantilli, who throws it back around the Wolverine net, where Knubel's there for the Irish. Kumla now. Working against Mania and Hage behind the Wolverine net. Danny Nelson hits the ice. Fantilli trying to get out to Malcolm Spence, unable to do so. Henry Nelson, Danny's brother, coming the other way. Brother to brother. Nelson shot saved by Ivan Kovic's left pad. And Garrett Shifsky gets out of Ian Park. Park to Keenan Draper, the Red Wings prospect. Draper shoots on net, deflected out and out of play by Axel Kumlin. 1-1, 3:51 left in the first period. As we get another quick sweep of the ice. Caleb, what have you seen so far in the last 5 to 10 minutes or so?
I've definitely seen a lot more defense on both sides of the puck, and I think the story tonight, outside of maybe the first 5 to 10 minutes of the period tonight, has really been the goaltenders on both sides. They've done an amazing job tonight, keeping it a 1-1 game. And I think that's really been the story. We've seen at times both teams get kind of caught off guard at some or other times, and the goaltenders have been right there to make up for that. And yeah, that's really been the story tonight.
Ivan Kovic has 10 saves for the Wolverines. Kempf has 8 saves. We're still 1-1, 3:51 as the players empty out of their bench. It will be an offensive zone face-off here for the Wolverines. Draper, Park, Robertson, Rayo Mullen, and Shifsky Out there for the Wolverines, it's Ali, Rizzotti, Carlisle, Femus, and Yursev out there for the Irish. It'll be Draper against Pano Femus in the face-off dot. Face-off won by the Fighting Irish. Cleared out to Ben Robertson. He chips it back along into the Notre Dame zone. Able to sell it with a little bit of difficulty at first, but now it's Brennan Ali, 3-on-2. Has Femus on his wing. Femus shoots wide right. Puck corrals all the way out to Draper at center ice. Draper to Park. Park backhand, passes over. Shifsky, goal! Park to Draper to Park to Shifsky. Park has a goal and an assist. Shifsky has a goal and an assist. Wolverines take a 2-1 lead with 3:21 left in the period.
Yeah, that's an amazing effort by the Wolverines. Going down, pursuing it, getting it in the back of the net. That's a good goal.
And it looks like Aiden Park's actually going to get credit for this goal as it went off a Fighting Irish skate. To me, that looks like Shifsky got a piece of it, but no. Nicholas Kempf actually had trouble with it. Initially saved it, then put it back in off his stick.
And that'll be his second tonight, too, the freshman from Hermosa Beach, California.
And now they're saying it's a Garrett Shifsky goal. So
Never mind.
So they've gone back and forth. They've ruled this as a Shifsky goal unassisted for the time period. Regardless, it's a 2-1 lead for the Wolverines. Fighting Irish in the Michigan zone now. Darshell Oliver behind the Wolverine net. He's hit by Duke. He gets the puck out to TJ Hughes, who's been quiet tonight. Hughes dumps it Perron on his right wing. Perron working in the corner. Puck eventually won by Michael Mastro Dominico, who retrieves the puck back. Dumps it in deep as he's going to go off for a change. Asher Barnett there to retrieve the puck for the Wolverines. Up to Nick Mollenhauer. Mollenhauer whiffs, and that goes back to Niko Jovanovic. Says, look what I found, as he passes it back to Connor Slaggert behind the net. Axel Kumlin wanted the puck, didn't get it. As James Perron gets it to Asher Barnett, who eventually get Moldenhauer out of the Michigan zone. Fisher sends it in deep. Went off the net, and that puck will be coming out into the neutral zone. So they've officially now gone back to Aiden Park. So it's Aiden Park's second goal of the night. They bounce back and forth. Initially it was Park, then it was Shifsky, now it's Park. But 2-1 lead for the Wolverines, 2:04 left in the period. Colt McKinney. Danny Nelson at center ice. McKinney wins the draw, out to Dakota Raymond. Raymond over Ernestine. He gets leveled by Paul Fisher. McKinney then hits Fisher with one of his own. Ben Robertson behind the Wolverines net. Sends it out to Colt McKinney. McKinney over to Josh Ernestine. Ernestine dumps it in. Valentini in a foot race against Nelson. Valentini will lose the puck. Bouncing around in the corner behind the Notre Dame Fighting Irish net. Kumlin over to his partner Paul Fisher. Fisher up to Nelson. Nelson's pass for Evan Werner intercepted by Adam Valentini, who dumps it back in as Jimmy Yursev goes back to retrieve it. Cole Knuble will now dump into the Michigan zone. 2-1 Wolverines, just over a minute left to play in the first period. Mazzotti working against Fantilli in the corner. Hage helps him out. Hage to Horkoff. Horkoff over to Spence. Spence gains the Notre Dame zone now. Working in the corner, Spence and Horkoff. Puck comes all the way out to Duke. Duke sends it back in. Horkoff goes into the corner. Puck cannot be kept in by Michael Hage. 37 seconds left to play in the first period. Hage ships it back out to Horkoff. Horkoff shoots high. Tyler Duke able to keep in the zone, but not for long as Panofimos wins the puck back. Just over 20 seconds left to play. 2-1 Wolverines. Luca Fantilli surveys behind the Michigan Wolverines net. 12 seconds in the period. Up to Draper. Draper goes down. Park over Shifty. Shifty's one-time save by Nicholas Kemp. 3 seconds left. Notre Dame comes the other way. The horn will sound. 2-1 Wolverines, end of the first period. Each team with 11 shots on net. Caleb, what did you see of the Wolverines that period?
I saw a lot of domination. Two wonderful goals from Aiden Park to kickstart the Wolverines' second semester. Very, very great goals. And from the Fighting Irish, they're still anyone's game. They're still in it. Currently, both teams sit at 11 shots for that period. 10 saves for the Wolverines as compared to 9 for the Fighting Irish. So it's a very level game. We've got 40 minutes of hockey to go. I'm excited to see what's next.
2 Wolverines goals scored by Aiden Park. Jaden Davis has the lone Notre Dame goal. One key stat to note, the Fighting Irish have won 64% faceoffs in the first period compared to just 33% last night. We will take a break for intermission. We will be back. Don't go anywhere. 2-1 Wolverines at the first intermission. everybody, and welcome back in WCBN's coverage of tonight's game involving the Michigan Wolverines and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Once again, I'm Perry Mourtzinos alongside Caleb Brown. 2-1 Wolverines lead at the end of the first period. We're about a minute and a half from restarting play. Caleb, what do the Wolverines need to do, or I should say continue doing?
I would say continue to show domination on the puck on both sides, offense and defense, and try to pull away from. There's a 1-goal lead, but it's not really a comfortable lead by any means, and so I think that in the second period it will be pivotal for the Wolverines to try to pull away, score two goals. Obviously, continue to create those chances that are necessary for getting those goals, and they've done it before. This period's no different, so they have to continue to stay strong in these next 40 minutes.
Absolutely. Nicholas Kemp for Notre Dame as the goaltender has 9 saves tonight compared to his counterpart on the other side, Jack Ivankovic, who has 10 saves for the Wolverines. Notre Dame's goal, scored by Jaden Davis with assists from Cole Brown and Deshelle Oliver. Both of the Wolverines' goals have been scored by the freshman, Aiden Park, the Edmonton Oilers prospect, for his 7th and 8th goals of the season.
It's been a big night for Park.
Absolutely. It'll be McKinney and Danny Nelson, both wearing number 11 in the center ice. To start the second period, the period of long change for each side.
Number 11 versus 11, with 11 shots for both teams.
Look at that. Face-off won by Danny Nelson. That's played back to Paul Fisher, who plays it up to Cole Knuble, who deflects the puck up and out play. And so we will restart just 5 seconds later. McKinney against Nelson once again at center ice. That face-off is won by McKinney, but Cole Knuble retrieves the puck, passes it to Evan Warner. Shot on net, saved by Jack Ivankovic. Puck behind the Michigan net, pops up, and it's stuck on the back edge of the Michigan net. And the officials are going to blow the puck dead. 2-1 Wolverines lead, 19:43 left in the second period. Face-off will be taking place in the Notre Dame offensive zone. It will be Pano Femus against TJ Hughes, the nation's active leading points leader, as the puck is backed, played into the Notre Dame zone before eventually being passed along by both teams through neutral zone. James Perron eventually collects it. He drives into the attacking zone, stops on a dime, gets to Nick Moldenhauer out by the right face-off dot. Puck won back by the Fighting Irish, and now it's Brendan Ali who will try stretch pass out to Pano Femus, unable to receive it cleanly, and that puck go all the way down the ice for an icing. It'll be Michael Hage for the Wolverines, working once against Pano Femus in the Michigan offensive zone. Page is tied up. Eventually, Will Horkoff there to get the puck. Horkoff working in the corner against Kumler. Michael Hage behind the net. Throws out in front, deflected wide by Nicholas Kemp. Ben Robertson throws it over to Malcolm Spence. Hage, Horkoff whiffs. Dakota Riamon keeps it in the offensive zone. Out by the punch, still Riamon throws it out in front, blocked by Brendan Ali, and it'll go all the way back with Brendan Ali in pursuit. Riamon working one-on-one, gets taken to the ground by Brendan Ali, and the whistle's blown. It's going to be a penalty coming up for Brendan Ali in the first power play of the night for either side, with 18:40 left in the second period. 2-1, Wolverines lead. penalty will be for holding.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Oli was thinking in that play. It was a very, very easy call, I would say.
Yeah, perhaps a little overzealous by Lee to go into the Michigan defensive zone like that. But it will be huge work-off. Page, Valentini, and Perron as the face-off immediately won by Notre Dame, but it's all the way back out, and Nicholas Kempf will freeze the puck. So we'll do it all again. 1:58 left on the power play. Hughes wins the draw. Comes back out to Perron. Perron takes his minute. Gets it to Hughes. Hughes over to H. One-time score! Hughes won the face-off. Chipped out by Horkoff to Perron. He got back over Hughes. He sent it over to Michael Hage for the one-time goal. Beat Nicholas Kempf to the blocker side.
That was just what the Wolverines needed. Now they have a very comfortable lead going into this second period. Right place, right time for Hage, and that's a brilliant goal for the Wolverines.
3-1 Wolverines. As Hage scores on the one-timer, that is the Montreal Canadiens' 11th goal this season. As face-off won by the Wolverines. Valentini in his own zone. Brendan Ali out of the penalty box, of course, after the Wolverines' power play goal. Puck corralled by Tyler Duke behind the Wolverines' net. Takes a minute. Finds Garrett Shifsky. Shifsky over to Duke. Duke crosses center ice. Duke gets a pass. Mastro DeMonico. Sends over Keenan Draper. Draper working against Mastro DeMonico again. Gets it back down to Shifsky. Shifsky finds Duke at the top. Duke's shot goes wide. Aiden Park puck retrieves. Shifsky one-timer saved by Kempf. As we're seeing some extracurricular between Draper and Mastro DeMonico behind the net. And Draper just cross-checked Mastro DeMonico. And he will head to the box. So now will be a Fighting Irish penalty. With 17:41 left in the second period. As they will also, send Mastro Domenico to the box for the second time tonight, so it'll be a 4-on-4. And the Wolverines will get a zone in their face-off in their offensive zone. (3-1) Wolverines. 17:41 left. Draper in the box for Michigan. Mastro Domenico in the box for the Irish. McKinney versus Danny Nelson. McKinney wins the draw, but puck corralled by Paul Fisher. Fisher to Knuble. Knuble gives it back to Kumlin, who has time to survey. McKinney plays aggressive, able to clip the puck out. Knuble over Danny Nelson. Danny Nelson wins the puck. Shot saved by Evan Kovic's right pad as Danny Nelson went flying into Ivan Kovic. He's down. Josh Ernestine is on top of Danny Nelson. McKinney's got hands on Cole Knuble. Ramon's got hands on Paul Fisher. Ivan Kovic, though, still down for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
left leg.
Doesn't look intentional at all, but unfortunate, and no. And if you're the Wolverines, you're not going to be very, very excited about that. And the children of Yost making their presence very known tonight, especially after that hit.
And trainers out on the ice to check on Jack Ivan Kovic. As it looks like they're going to send Josh Ernestine to the box for the Wolverines. Will Danny Nelson be joining him? For the time being, it looks like no. Jack Ivan Kovic still down. by the Michigan net, as it will be the backup goaltender, Stephen Peck, who has not played today, from New York City, the 6'2 freshman. TJ Hughes and Ray Mullen out to check on their goaltender. As it looks for the time being, it's just going to be Ernest and Draper in the box. So it looks like Notre Dame's going to have a power play. Ivan Kovic's to his feet with the help of his two teammates, Ray Mullen and TJ Hughes. Stephen Peck now coming in the game, wearing number 31. Cameron Corpy's old number last season, as he grabbed Ivan Kovic's stick. As it appears, Ivan Kovic, holding that left leg very gingerly, will head all the way back to the Michigan locker room. So for the time being, looks like it's going to be Stephen Peck taking us the rest of the way here.
Yeah, very unfortunate to see such a talented freshman goaltender go down. More bad news for the Wolverines.
So it appears that Josh Ernest has been ejected from tonight's game. So Danny Nelson will head to the box with the roughing after the whistle. Josh Ernest will head to the locker room with the 5-minute major for cross-checking. So to sum it all up, 3-1 Wolverines, 17-18 left in the second period. We've got 4 players in the box per se. Master Nico and Keenan Draper were in there both for roughing. They're in there for 1:37 left each. Danny Nelson is in there for roughing after the whistle for 2 minutes. Josh Ernest is in there for a 5-minute major for cross-checking, and he has gone back to the locker room. So, all that to say, Notre Dame should get some time here on the power play. As the referee's sorting out with head coach Brandon Dorado. As it's been a while since we restarted play. So it's going to be 3-on-3. Can't remember the last time I saw 3-on-3. That will be Matthew Mania serving the penalty for Josh Ernest in the box, but Josh Ernest once again has gone back to the locker room. So it's 3-on-3 for 1:37 seconds, and then we will get 4-on-3. Or excuse me, then we will get 4-on-4. Excuse me. We have restart play here, 3-on-3. As Evan Werner has a 2-on-1 with Cole Knuble. Tyler Duke left. Werner shoots, saved by Stephen Peck. What a first save of the year for the goaltender, Stephen Peck, and the Yost faithful pledging their support to the freshman goaltender. As Evan Werner now getting into it with some of his former teammates. 3-1 Wolverines, 16:53 left. Once again, we have 3-on-3. We'll be 4-on-4 later. And then it will be 5-on-4 for around 3 minutes after that. So, a lot of things to sort out here to start the second period. Yeah, a lot of addition, too much addition for a weekend. have a minute and 12 left of 3-on-3 play. Face-off won by Mourtzinos for the Fighting Irish. And now we'll see some keep away, possibly. As Kumlin gets up to Mourtzinos. Mourtzinos shoots, saved by Peck. Hage is able to retrieve the puck, but he gets hit by Brendan Ali and loses it back to Mourtzinos. Mourtzinos taking time, circling his own zone. Horkoff out there giving a light chase. Under 45 seconds left on these penalties, just over 16 minutes to play in the second period. Mourtzinos drops it off to Axel Kumlin. Kumlin, slap shot, saved by Peck. Deflects high off the glass, all the way out to center ice where Brendan Ali is there. 30 seconds left of 3-on-3. Brendan Ali's pass finds no one, and Will Horkoff able to retrieve it at first, but is poked away by Peck. Eventually, the Wolverines get the puck back. It's Hage working against Knuble, who wins the puck. Knuble now with the full head of steam. Working against Horkoff, drives in behind the Wolverines' net. Knuble stops on a dime. Working against Ben Robertson. We're going to be back to 4-on-4. Drops off to Evan Werner. Masher to Monaco and Keenan Draper out of the box. Knuble shoots, deflected wide by Ben Robertson. Shot comes back in again. Deflected wide. Werner out front. Misses the entire net. And that will be out of play into the netting, protecting the steer section.
Yeah, that was a great chance by the Fighting Irish. Unfortunately for them, the shot was just wide and about sailed above.
Knuble found Evan Werner wide open and got Stephen Peck down on the ice. Had the entire really top 60% of the net to shoot at. And shot it high and off the net. Offensive zone face-off forthcoming for the Irish. We have 11 seconds left of 4-on-4 play, and then we will be getting 3 minutes of a power play for Notre Dame. Paul Fisher over to Werner. Werner back to Fisher at the blue line. Fisher, shot, deflected by Keenan Draper over the head of Stephen Peck. The Fighting Irish retrieve it. Notre Dame at full strength. Power play now for the Irish, 5-on-4. Werner at the left dot. Pass deflected by Tyler Duke. He gets a hit on Themis behind the net. Wolverines finally able to clear the puck all the way down again. Much needed change for their penalty kill unit. 2:30 left on the penalty kill. Werner in back for the Irish. Shot saved by Peck. Werner behind the net, drops off to Nelson. Nelson back to Werner. Werner at the right dot. Sends it to Themis. Themis one-timer, saved by Peck. Back out to Fisher at the big logo at the blue line. Over Knuble. He takes his time, drops it down into Themis. Themis back to Fisher. Fisher to Werner. Werner shoots, saved by Peck again. And that puck deflects out of Moldenhauer. Moldenhauer's outlet pass is just too long for Shifsky. That's going to go all the way back in the Fighting Irish zone. Under 2 minutes left on the penalty kill for the Wolverines. 14 minutes left in the period. Fisher leaves it for Ali. Ali gets over to Cole Brown. Puck cleared out by the Wolverines from the corner. As Henry Nelson will give chase. Nelson's pass for Cole Brown just off the mark. As Kumlin now trying to settle things down for the Fighting Irish. That pass for Ali is too far. And they will clear back by Tyler Duke. 1:15 left on the penalty kill for the Wolverines. Just 13 and a half minutes left in the second period. 3-1 lead for Michigan. Puck in behind the Wolverines' net. Eventually won by the Irish. Out to Kumlin, who gets out to Nelson. Back to Kumlin. Kumlin drops it off to Brown. Brown at the right dot, leaves it for Mourtzinos. Mourtzinos behind the Wolverines' net. Stops right in front of Children of Yost. It's Kumlin to Mourtzinos, to Ali, and shot deflected up and out play.
What an effort from the Wolverines, clearing that out of the box. That's a brilliant effort, and they're just about under a minute away from the penalty kill, which would be a huge step for the Wolverines in this turn of events.
40 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Wolverines on Josh Ernestie's major. Matthew Mania serving the penalty for him in the box as Ernesty has gone back to the locker room. Nelson over to Fisher at the blue line. Under 30 seconds on the power play. Fisher tries to get it over to Nelson. Blocked out by the Wolverines. Knuble now drives in. McKinney trying to retrieve the puck behind the Wolverines net. He sends out around the boards and back down the length of the ice, and another clear by the Wolverines as we are about 5 seconds left on the penalty kill. 3-1 Wolverines lead. 12:20 left in the second period. Back to even strength, and the Wolverines have killed off. Mania out of the box, gets a turnover as he will head off the ice. 5-on-5 for the first time, about 5 minutes. Werner with the full F-seam, saved by Peck. Rebound back out in front. Number of players jostling. Peck has his glove down. No idea where the puck is. As the Fighting Irish are celebrating, the goal light didn't go off. Evan Werner right now is being credited with the goal. This will certainly be reviewed because the Fighting Irish are celebrating. There's no goal horn, no goal light. The puck was behind the net, behind the net, behind the net, behind the net. Peck is on his back. For the time being, it's now a 3-2 lead. Very weird play. Murado has opted for the officials to take a look at this one for goalie interference. Granted, Stephen Peck was on his back for, I mean, a number of players are hitting his pads. It seemed, to me at least, Caleb, that a lot of the players thought that the puck was under Peck.
Yeah, I think so, and it looks like it went off the shoulder, either the back or the shoulder of, looks like number 21 Kerr for the Fighting Irish. I'm not sure what they're going to make with the call, but it looks like it could also possibly be player interference on the Fighting Irish as well, if indeed it went off the shoulder of Kerr.
So Evan Werner currently being credited with the goal. Initially went off the side netting back under Peck before eventually just kind of being
would be an interesting moment considering that the junior spent his last season at Michigan here, playing home games here in Yost, originally out of Flower Mound, Texas.
So Reed's 3-2. Still in the monitor. It's been a long period. About 31 minutes and still just under 12 of game time left.
Yeah, I think there's quite a lot, at least from what we're seeing on the screen from our view. There's a lot to take in for this call. I think it's an important call, especially for a review. Normally, they don't take as long in hockey as per se football, but this is definitely an important one.
Definitely a lot to unpack. As the question seems to be, was Peck ever on top of the puck and getting, like chipped at, or
Yes.
almost, by Fighting Irish sticks? So it appears they've made a decision. They're taking the headset off. And here we have our final decision.
We couldn't hear the rest of the verdict, but either way it goes, the goal will stand, and the former Wolverine will get his first goal of the night here in Ann Arbor as he returned to the faceoff.
So now it's 3-2 Wolverines. This puck is being bounced around the Notre Dame defensive zone, eventually won by the Irish. Cole Brown has the puck poked away by Luca Fantilli. All the way around is Stephen Peck in that goalie for the Wolverines due to Jack Ivankovic's injury. Henry Nelson gets laid out by Michael Hage at center ice, and Hage gives him a piece of his mind as he gets out. And the puck is all the way down behind the Notre Dame net. As Carter Slaggert now working into the Michigan zone. Takes his time, surveys. Gets over to Kuhlman. Kuhlman throws one on net, saved by Peck. Rebound blocked out in front. That was Fleming, blocked by Wolverine. As Yursev will throw it off the boards into Cole Brown. Cole Brown back behind the net of Michigan. Max Fleming now dumps it back off to Carter Slaggert. Trying to work against Aiden Park. Eventually he has to just throw the puck into the opposite corner. The Irish send the pass just wide and out into the neutral zone. Wolverines unable to change, however. Peck turns the puck over in his own zone. This puck being bounced around in the corner, goes out play. So we'll get a stoppage here. 10:18 left in the second period. 3-2 Wolverines leaded. However, they are being outshot 25-14.
Yeah, that's a very interesting turn of events. At 14 shots, I would guess that's about three shots for the period, considering that they had 11 at the end of the first.
Wolverines will win the faceoff. Ben Robertson in the corner. Over to Ram Mullen, who plays it up to Perron. Plays it one time to Aiden Park. Park tries to get to Valentini, cannot. And the Irish come back the other way. Werner throws one out on Stephen Peck. He drops the puck over to Drew Schock. Schock turns it over. Werner collects the puck. The Valentini out to clear for the Wolverine. Dumps it in deep on the net, on Kemp. Kemp had a little bit of trouble with that one, but able to do the necessary work as the puck sent back into the Michigan end. Shifsky working out to Mollenhauer. Mollenhauer tried to send it out to Malcolm Spence. Behind the net, gonna send it all the way along the blue line looking for Fantilli. Fantilli able to win the puck. Back out to Spence at the left dot. Spence, Fantilli, blue line, saved by Kemp. Shifsky, rebound, saved by Kemp once more. Mollenhauer gets the rebound one more time, tries to throw it down front. Shifsky, goal! Eventually, the Wolverines kept on retrieving the puck and kept on getting it back. And once again, Shifsky has been all around the net for the Wolverines tonight. Has Michigan's fourth goal of the game, 4-2 Wolverines.
That's a great goal. The execution was absolutely flawless for the Wolverines, and they have that 2-goal lead back in their pockets as we continue to start the second half of the second period.
Moldenhauer with the backhand pass that got deflected by Spence over to Shifsky. He put one high glove side in on Nicholas Kempf. And the Wolverines once again have a 2-goal lead. 4-2, 9 minutes left in the second period as the Irish send the puck down the length of the ice for icing. And it will be Hage, Hughes, and Horkoff, the Big Ten's 3 leaders in points on the year. Hughes will take the face-off. Fantilli and Duke, the deep pairing out there for the Wolverines. Hughes wins it. Out to Fantilli. Fantilli to Horkoff. Horkoff to Hage. Tyler Duke able to just keep it in. Sends it behind the net of Hughes. Hughes looking for Hage out in front, unsuccessful. Duke able to keep the puck in. Sends it behind the net to Horkoff. Horkoff back to Duke. Duke by the left face-off dot. Throws one out behind the net. Hage loses the puck. Mazzotti chips it up and out and up and down the ice. Brendan Ali wins the puck in the corner for the Irish. Takes his time, trying to get it out. Hughes eventually wins the puck back for the Wolverines. Duke's pass for Hughes is long, gets to Jadon Kerr. Hughes settles things down right in the neutral zone. Hughes to Fantilli, now to Horkoff. Fantilli gains the offensive zone. Fantilli to Draper, saved by Kempf. Drew Shock sends it back along the boards in the Fighting Irish zone. Valentini off the bench tries to make the play to win the puck, unable to do so. Cole Brown to Deschelle Oliver, drops the puck down. One-timer from Jay Davis is saved by Stephen Peck. And a little extracurriculars after the play from Brown and Draper.
Big time save for the young goalie. Stepping in for Ivan Kovic tonight. What a save there.
4-2. Wolverines, 7:53 left in the second period. Each team with a goal in the period. The Wolverines, however, have 2 of them. Jack Ivan Kovic did leave earlier this period on a play where he was crashed into by Danny Nelson. Appeared to be grabbing at that left leg. After that whistle, Josh Ernest was ejected for a cross check. And so the Wolverines are down a forward. Block Cancer Night here at Yost Ice Arena. Pink out from the children of Yost, also handing out pink shirts around the arena. As we appear ready to be restarting play. This puck being played around with in front of the Michigan net after the faceoff, and Peck eventually says that he's had enough of this and freezes it. 4-2 Wolverines, 7:44 left in the second period. It's been a long period. A couple of extracurriculars. We also had a long goalie interference review after Notre Dame's second goal of the night. Cole Brown shot blocked by Dakota Raymond, and he will have to retreat into his own zone to get the puck. Jaden Kerr sends one off Deschelle Oliver's stick back behind the Michigan net. Asher Barnett with a great seal getting out to Keenan Draper. Colt McKinney juggles on his puck a little bit as McKinney will just play it into the corner of the Irish zone. Play quick up to Jayon Davis. He gets the puck, tries to send it out to Cole Brown in front. No one's home. Jaden Perron lifts it up and out of the zone. Tyler Duke over to Aiden Park. He has 2 goals for the Wolverines tonight. Drops off to Shifsky. He has the 4th goal of the night.
Oh, hard foul.
Completely loses his edge and goes flying into the boards hard. As it looked like he just kind of burned a tire there, just lost his edge. And as he was going down, kind of got hit into the boards by Paul Fisher.
Oh, it looks like they'll have to take him back.
And they will have to take Garrett Shifsky back in the locker room. So Paul Fisher is in the box. They will review it for a major. It's going to be cross-checking. To me, it looks like Shifsky lost his edge, and as he was going down, was kind of getting cross-checked in the board. That's what it looked like live.
It was definitely a tough fall, but yeah. I think it should be probably just a normal penalty if that for Notre Dame. An unfortunate slip up for Shifsky. Yes, we'll see what they say.
So this is now our 3rd long stoppage of the period. Shifsky burned a tire coming across. So he was trying to just turn that corner as we're going to finally get our first replay. Oh.
Oh, is that not? Were they not even looking?
So this is interesting. So initially, everyone thought they were looking at Garrett Shifsky going down. Apparently, Jaden Davis cross-checked a Wolverine. I couldn't tell exactly who that was. Might have been Fantilli behind the play. So that's what the debate is right now. So they did, in fact, determine that Shifsky just went down. Okay. So I apologize for the confusion. Shifsky did, in fact, lose his edge. Went flying into the boards. He's back in the locker room right now. The cross-checking penalty on number 15, Jane Davis, who had the 1st goal of the night for Notre Dame, was behind the play on a Wolverines defenseman. Regardless, the Wolverines will get 2-minute penalty, or 2-minute power play, excuse me. Up 4-2 with 6:59 left. They already have a power play goal tonight, courtesy of Michael Hage. They had one last night, courtesy of Adam Valentini. So we will be ready to play once again here at Yost Ice Arena. The official dropped the puck early, says it's my bad. SU's able to win the faceoff. Back off to Perron at the blue line. Perron, little spin move. Hage at the right point, trying to get off to Horkoff. And as that was happening, Nicholas Kev went right back at his post and took the net off its post. So we will get another stoppage as they fix the net now. Just 8 seconds into that power play. It will be Hughes back again in the face-off dot for the Wolverines. Out to Perron at the blue line. Perron back over to Valentini. Valentini to Horkoff. Wolverines run with 5 forwards on this power play. Shot from Perron got through, but not on net, as the puck will be all the way cleared back down as the Fighting Irish will get the chance to change. Perron brings it through the neutral zone, drops off to Michael Hage, who has the Wolverines' 3rd goal tonight. Over to Hughes, back to Perron. Perron gets Valentini. Valentini can't receive it cleanly, had a chance. Valentini at the right dot. Takes his time, dumps off to Horkoff behind the goal line. Horkoff back to Valentini. Valentini to Horkoff. They're playing catch. Over Perron, who fakes the one-timer. Gets over to Hage. Hage trying to get Hughes in the slot. Goes through. Perron retrieves it. Horkoff to Hughes now at the point. Hughes to Horkoff. Tight angle shot saved by Nicholas Kempf. And frozen. 5:54 left in the period. 55 seconds left on the power play as some more extracurriculars will result in no penalty, but Wolverines leading 4-2. Garashivsky back on the ice for the Wolverines, back on the bench, I should say. So he has returned to the game. The second power play unit out now for the Wolverines. McKinney on the faceoff, tied up. Spence behind the net. Robertson now. Back out to Ray Mullen at the blue line. Park, one-timer, just wide. Almost had the hat trick for Aiden Park, the freshman. 30 seconds left on the kill for the Irish. Park drops it off for Ben Robertson. Robertson brings it through to Colt McKinney. As Paul Fisher hits the deck. Robertson and McKinney in the corner. Puck eventually cleared up and out of the zone by the Irish. Just 6 seconds remain on the penalty kill. Just over 5 minutes left in the period. Wolverines leading 4-2. Back to full strength for the Irish. And Panofimos takes it away. Axel Kumlin dumps it in behind Stephen Peck. Back out of Kumlin, who plays it around the boards to Femus. Femus' pass is intercepted by McKinney, who gets it up and out of the zone. Malcolm Spence tries to play through pass to Ian Park. Park working alone in the corner as the Wolverines head to a change. He wins it back out to Moldenhauer. Moldenhauer over Duke. Duke for trying to find Park back door. Bell bounces around. Moldenhauer goal. Duke was looking for Aiden Park. Aiden Park hit the ice, and the puck bounced right out to Nick Moldenhauer, who was able to put it in for the goal. 5-2 Wolverines lead, 4:21 left in the period.
It looks like they may be taking a look at this. It looks like the official might have waved it off. Maybe not. That could be very wrong.
Maybe a brief question of goaltender interference, but the puck is dropped. The goal is good. 5-2 Wolverines. Moldenhauer with the unassisted goal as the Fighting Irish clear their own zone. Carter Slager over to Max Fleming, who absorbs a hit from Tyler Duke and stays with the puck. Sends it over to Niko Jokanovic. Now over to the captain, Mastro Domenico. Plays it off the skates of Keenan Draper. And Draper able to dump it in the Notre Dame zone. Carter Slager the other way for the Irish. Gets the puck taken away by Barnett. Great stick from Asher Barnett there. As it's Jane Perron the other way. Down the right wing. Charges on net. Nicholas Kempf with the save. He was angry about something after the play with Ray Mullen, who got a little, hey, how are you, from Evan Werner after the play, his former teammate. 5-2, 3:30 left. Shots are 26-23 in favor of the Irish.
Former teammates still going at it as they go to their respective benches. But it's been a very, very eventful second period. I would say in the first about 17 minutes of the period, this has been we've been in for it for sure.
Yeah, some things that I personally haven't seen in a while. You had earnestly ejects him for cross-checking the seemingly 4 to 5 minute review for goaltender interference that ended up not being goaltender interference. And then we had Stephen Peck's first game action of the season. Face-off won by Hughes. Robertson throws on net, saved once again by Kempf. And just 2 minutes later, we'll have another offensive zone face-off. Hughes wins the draw again. Robertson dangles. Pass Knuble. Looking for someone out in front. Eventually finds Perron at the right dot. His shot blocked by Paul Fisher. As the puck is out of the zone, Drew Schock now working against Evan Werner. Finds TJ Hughes on the near side. Drops it back off to Schock. Over Robertson, he gets a little hit from Paul Fisher as he dumps the puck over Valentini. Puck won back by Danny Nelson. Nelson and Knuble, who loses the puck in TJ Hughes' skates. Now it's Valentini trying to find either Hughes or Spence in front of the net. Pass just cannot get through. 5-2 Michigan, 2:40 left in the period. Evan Werner charges forward. Shot deflected up and out of play. So we'll get an offensive zone faceoff for the Irish. It will be Jane Davis in the face-off box, or face-off dot, excuse me, against Michael Hage. Davis wins the draw. Shot from the point is blocked. Now a shot comes from the far side. Tight angle shot from Kane Carlisle is in the back of the net. Being Stephen Peck, blocker side high. And so now it's 5-3 Wolverines.
That's a good goal from the Irish. The last few shots that I've seen from them have seemed to be really quick and really desperate. And so I think that it is good to see them get back in this game with a good quality shot that gets in the net. You have to be very proud of if you're a Notre Dame.
The shot from the point was blocked down front by a Wolverine and just found its way to Kane Carlisle, who ripped a wrister for his first goal of the season, just over Peck's blocker. 5-3, 2:27 left. McKinney wins the draw for the Wolverines as he hits the ice after. This period has been about 50 minutes real time now at this point. Cole Brown loses the puck to James Perron on a no-looker. Eventually wins it back as Ray Mullins sells things down. Gets it over Asher Barnett. Puck deflected by Darshell Oliver, and it will go back in the Michigan net. Ryan Mullen to retrieve. Park chips it up and out of the zone and just past center ice. Coming back the other way for the Irish, they will go for a change as Barnett will take his time behind the Michigan net. 1:40 left to play in the period. 5-3 Wolverines, 27-24 in favor of Notre Dame in terms of shots. Barnett still behind the net. Plays it up to Keenan Draper. Brendan Ali takes the puck away from the Red Wings prospect. Pass is just wide, and it'll go all the way down. No icing call. Garrett Shifsky and Jaden Kerr working along the blue line. Won by the Irish, shipped back in behind the net for Barnett. 1:05 left in the period, Michigan leading 5-3. Puck now sent down the length of the ice by Shifsky, and that'll be icing.
We've got 1 minute to go.
these skaters for the Wolverines have been out there for a little bit. Have not been able to get off the ice. So it'll be TJ Hughes winning the face-off. As Ryan Mullen gets up out of the zone. Under a minute to go in the second period. Puck back into the Michigan end. Won there by Danny Nelson. Danny Nelson. Back over to Knuble. Knuble behind the net. Point, Paul Fisher shot. Blocked in front. Knuble wide open in front. Saved by Steven Peck. Garrett Shifsky has the puck. 30 seconds left. Gets it over to TJ Hughes. TJ Hughes glides with the puck. Looking for somebody to get open. He's going to keep it. Drive to the net. Backhand goes wide. 20 seconds left in the period. A whole cast of players go down in front of Nicholas Kemp in the Irish set. On the other end, Max Fleming brings the puck up. 12 seconds to go in the period. Taken away from TJ Hughes. 8 seconds to go. Puck bouncing around in the neutral zone. Under 5 seconds. It's just going to be held there by Axel Kumlin. And that is going to end the second period with the lead for the Wolverines of 5-3. Caleb, your thoughts on that period?
Well, what an eventful second period for both sides of the puck. We saw 2 goals from each team in that second period. A flurry of penalties on both sides. An ejection and 2 injuries. It's been very eventful. Nonetheless, the Wolverines still have a comfortable lead at the end of that second period, despite the adversity.
Garrett Shifsky and Ivan Kovic, the 2 players to go off with injury. Shifsky has since returned. We saw 4 total goals in that period. Excuse me, that should say 5 total goals in that period. 3 from the Wolverines, 2 from the Fighting Irish. We will break for intermission. Once again, don't go anywhere. We will have the third period for you in about 10 minutes or so. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to WCBN Sports here at Yosice Arena. Once again, I'm Perry Mourtzinos alongside Caleb Brown here for the final period between the Michigan Wolverines and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Currently, Wolverines are up 5-3 despite getting outshot 28-24. Stephen Peck is now your goaltender for the Wolverines. He has come back out warming up. Jack Ivankovic went down with a lower body injury in the second period. Peck has been pretty solid since. 13 saves, although the 2 goals allowed. The first one could be looked at as a little fluky. Regardless, Wolverines have a 2-goal lead. Caleb, what do they need to do to keep the lead?
I think just continue to play hard and keep up this cushion of a lead that they have. Currently up 2 scores at the end of the second period. Just keeping up that good work, keeping up the teamwork here in this third period, trying to close this one out and sweep the series between the Fighting Irish for the second time this season.
Draw won by the Fighting Irish as they dump it off. Tyler Duke behind his own net. Out to Moldenhauer, who passes it back to Hughes. Hughes tries to play off the wall and clear the zone, and does so barely. 5-3, 19:30 left. Jaden Perron. In the Notre Dame offensive zone, Nick Moldenhauer has the puck at the right dot. Centers the puck, no one home. Paul Fisher has the puck now behind the Irish net, Irish unable to clear. Perron at the blue line, sends one in. Blocked in front by Kumlin. Puck controlled by Knubel. And out over to Danny Nelson, one for the Irish. Tyler Duke in his own zone. Just gonna fling one down, flings a net. Unfortunately, goes wide, that's gonna be icing. Perhaps an unnecessary play there by Tyler Duke.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to face off at the circle kind of in Wolverine territory. Big one for the Wolverines and the Fighting Irish alike as the Irish try to cut this lead in half with an even 19 to go here in the third period.
Hughes and Mazzotti at the face-off dot. Mazzotti gets a warning. Face-off won by Mazzotti. Perron gets tripped by Max Fleming. No call. Mazzotti centers it, knowing home. Max Fleming on the other side, able to bring it back around the boards. It'll come all the way out to Jadon Kerr at the blue line. He'll send it back over to Fleming. Tyler Duke pins him along the wall. Eventually controlled by Moldenhauer. Pays a little price with a hit. Moldenhauer dumps it back off to Ray Mullen, who has time to think over things in his own zone. 5-3, 18:30 left in the third period. Max Fleming right in between Peck and the goaltender. Peck gave him a little shake of the head, almost a what are you doing type of look. As Ray Mullen finally brings it out, finds Michael Hage in the Irish zone, looking for a Horkoff backside. Unable to get there. Horkoff does retrieve the puck though. Gets it poked away from him by Masho Domenico. Over to Robertson. Robertson fire one's on net, just wide from Ben Robertson. Ray Mullen barely keeps it in the zone, dumps it back in, and it's actually going to be delayed offsides. Everyone clears the zone. Irish bring it up now. Pass just a little bit too long for Cole Brown, controlled by Drew Schock. Drew Schock over to Michael Hage. 17:45 left to play here in this one. Michigan leads 5-3. The pass for Horkoff just a bit inaccurate. Drew Schock trying to chip it along. Michael Hage keeps possession in the Irish zone. Fires it on net. Saved by Nicholas Kempf. And the puck's going to trickle all the way back. Asher Barnett, who's played a very clean game on the back end for the Wolverines, takes a minute to survey things. Michael Hage lays out Dashell Oliver behind the play. Shifsky goes for a hit. He misses. And Dashell Oliver now brings it up. Cuts middle, shoots high. Cole Brown gets the rebound. Back out of Dash Oliver. He's going to send it in behind the net. Controlled by Asher Barnett. He just taps it along the boards. Caden Carlisle working against Tyler Duke. Duke over to Barnett. Barnett over to McKinney. Chips it down along so everybody can change and no icing. Caden Carlisle takes the time. Feeds it over to Kumlin. Kumlin to Danny Nelson. Puck on net at Pecking. He will freeze. 5-3, 16:34 left in the period. Relatively calm period, I would say, to start, Caleb.
Yeah, I could not agree more. It's definitely been a complete difference from the first 4 minutes of that second period. They will face off once again in Wolverine territory.
Face off in the Michigan at Hughes and Mazzotti. Hughes hasn't lost it seemingly forever. He wins that one again.
Oh, just the ice.
Ray Mullen back to Barnett. Barnett tries to get it along to Mullenhauer. He fights for the puck, eventually able to tap it out of Ann Park and out to center ice where the Irish are able to corral it. Paul Fisher briefly loses it, able to retrieve it. And the puck is chipped down into Michigan and Peck comes out of the net to retrieve it. Over to Barnett. Barnett along the boards. Thought Hughes was going to be there. He is not, and that's going to be all the way down for an icing. The Wolverine bench is a little unhappy. It did go off of an official's skate, but no matter. 5-3, 16:02 left. Face off. Forthcoming in the Michigan zone. Hughes against Jane Davis. Hughes loses the first faceoff. Mastro Dominico over to Max Fleming. Fleming shoots, blocked by Ram Mullen in front of the net. Park just trying to find TJ Hughes and just a little long. It's going to be icing again for the Wolverines. 5-3, 15:51, and the faceoff coming back to the Michigan end. Three icing, just about 45 seconds for the Wolverines. And it will be Hughes and Davis in the rematch. The left on. That one goes to Davis as well. Max Fleming wins it, Brennan Ali. Fleming working against Hughes behind the net. Chipping away. Davis gets out of Kumlin at the blue line. Kumlin back to Davis. Davis tries to feed across ice. Intercepted by Park. Park clears his zone but only gets out of center ice. Right back in for Ali. Mullenhauer wins it. Clears it once again right out, but right to Caden Carlisle, who will dump it in again, and the Irish will go for a change. Ray Mullen needs a change for sure. As Michael Hage is able to dump in, he will head off the ice along with Barnett. Just over 15 minutes to play in this one. 5-3 is the score. Wolverines leading. Drew Schock over Jane Perron. Perron can't get it over the stick of Danny Nelson. And Cole Brown's going to try and keep in the zone. It's going to be offsides, however. And the faceoff will be coming out of the Michigan zone. 5-3, 14:50 left in the third period. McKinney wins the draw, working against Cole Brown. No touch from Will Horkoff. McKinney wins the race to wave off the icing. Danny Nelson over Deshelle Oliver. He'll drop into the Michigan end. Not a lot of shots on goal from either side yet here in this one. Luca Fantilli tries to chip out to Colt McKinney. He wasn't paying attention, however. And it will get back into the Michigan zone. Tyler Duke retrieves it out to Shifsky. Shifsky trying to find Horkoff, not there. Puck beyond the Michigan net. Peck will settle things down for Fantilli. Fantilli dangles past Jovanovic. Over to Shifsky, back to Fantilli. Fantilli trying to set it up for Perron. He can't get there. Page throws one from the point. That goes off of Jovanovic, his skate, and back into the other end. Carter Slaggert now driving in. Finds Paul Fisher. Fisher stops. Carter Slaggert in the slot, looking back over to Mastro Domanico. Over to Fisher. Fisher to Slaggert. Blocked by Tyler Tuke with his skate. As Michael Hayes will lift it up and out of the zone. Irish right back the other way. 13:30 to play. Wolverines leading 5-3. Ben Robertson makes the play but absorbs a hit. As the puck is out to Malcolm Spence. Malcolm Spence gains the zone. Shot blocked by Kumlin. Plays it back along the boards over to Draper. Gets the puck poked away by him from Henry Nelson. Irish controlling it behind their own net. Carter Slaggert makes a move past Valentini. Gets it over to Knoble. He passes one time, goal! Axel Kumlin flying up the ice. 2-on-1, Michigan was unaware of that backside defender. Kumlin has second goal of the year.
Yeah, they looked a lot more like the Wolverines had earlier in the first period, kind of catching the defense sleeping, and they capitalized on it, cut the lead in half. That's a great effort.
Michigan has come out flat to start the period. No doubt about it. Axel Kumlin with the goal from Cole Knubel. TJ Hughes wins the faceoff for Michigan. 5-4, under 13 minutes to play. Once again, Stephen Peck in net. If you're just joining us, Jack Ivan Kovic, who has been out there for every single Wolverine minute, where they haven't been empty net, of course, or a delayed penalty. Left the second period with a lower body injury. Stephen Peck has done an admirable job, really had no chance on that one-timer. He has 15 saves tonight, has allowed 3 goals. Good for an .833 save percentage. Nicholas Kempf on the other side, 21 saves, 5 goals allowed, .808 allowed. Aiden Park, 2 goals for the Wolverines. Shifsky, Page, and Mullenhauer also have a goal. Notre Dame, 4 different goal scorers. Axel Kumlin has 1. Evan Werner, the former Wolverine. Jane Davis and Kane Carlisle. Those are your goal scorers here tonight. As both sides briefly head to the bench. Children of Yost trying to fire up this team, as the Wolverine skaters know what they have to do in front of the freshman goaltender getting his first game action all year, Stephen Peck. TJ Hughes will take the face-off in the neutral zone just outside of the Notre Dame zone. He wins it. Puck back out to Fantilli in his own zone. Fantilli's pass goes off of Draper's skate. Ooh. Icing is called. It looked close, the race between Valentini and J. Don Kerr. 5-4, 12:45 left. Face-off coming in the Wolverine zone. TJ Hughes working against Jane Davis, part 3 in the past 4 minutes. Loses the face-off again. Luckily, Valentini's there to get it. Valentini tries to make a move as Yursev was coming over to lay a hit. Valentini avoided him and Yursev went flying. Puck behind the end line in the Notre Dame zone. Puck out to Fantilli by the blue line. Dumps it into Draper. Draper's stick is getting held. He wants a call. Not going to get. Children of Yost a little upset. Draper and Hughes working behind the net. Fantilli pinches. Wins the puck back briefly but loses it. The Irish are back the other way. Fantilli blows the tire coming the other way. Tyler Duke able to win the puck for the Wolverines, and Valentini settles things down. 5-4, 12 minutes to play in this one. That pass goes off of Hughes' skate and into the Notre Dame zone. Aiden Park fighting in the corner alone as the Wolverines go for a change. He's on the ground. Moldenhauer goes and helps him. The Irish come away with it, however, as Werner stops to think things over. Brendan Ali on the near side is going to dump it and Peck out to play it. Stops and passes to Ben Robertson. Along the boards to Aiden Park. Aiden Park once more along the boards, gets his own pass. Park throws off the skate of Danny Nelson. Robertson corrals it, but pass is intercepted by Brendan Ali. Ali stops on a dime. Finds Kumlin, who finds Henry Nelson at the point. Shot blocked in front. Stephen Peck was out of the net trying to glove that one down, but never got to him. Puck is sent in. Irish aren't allowed to touch it, however, for fear of offsides. 11 minutes left to play. Wolverines leading by a goal, 5-4. Robertson settling things down behind the net. Finds Hage. Hage moves past Rosati. Finds Shifsky. Shifsky scores! Hage with a simple dangle past Rosati and finds Garrett Shifsky all alone in the slot, who rips a one-timer low blocker side, and the Wolverines are back to having a 2-goal lead.
That's a good goal. He took that shot from very far away. That's a good one.
Garrett Shifsky joins Aiden Park with Wolverines with 2 goals tonight. Hage now has a goal and an assist. For the time being, passing Will Horkoff in leading the Big Ten in points. There appears to be a brief stoppage. They're checking something at Notre Dame. I would have to think the only thing that this could be called back for would be offsides.
But if this goal is to stand, it will.
Ooh. So Notre Dame is challenging that there was a major penalty at 12:30. So you are allowed to do this at the next stoppage, specifically in college hockey. You can challenge for a major. It has to be the next stoppage. So regardless, the goal will count. The question is, will Notre Dame be on a 5-minute power play, and will another Wolverine be ejected? I don't have a replay for you, so I can't tell you exactly what's happening right now. All we know is that it was about a minute and 40 seconds ago. And for Notre Dame to challenge this, right, a minute and 40 seconds later, they must have seen something.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, this is a crucial challenge. I think this is really worth the chance. They're worth this try for Notre Dame, as a 5-minute penalty, a second ejection for the Wolverines could be huge for Notre Dame as they continue to fight. They've shown a lot of fight in this game. There's still about just over half a period left to play. A 5-minute power play could be huge as they could get.
Quick review, deemed unsuccessful. I don't know what kind of major they were looking at, so regardless, 6-4, 10:49 left in the third period, even strength. Hage working against Mazzotti. Mazzotti wins the faceoff. Sends it back into Peck. Peck over to Fantilli. Intercepted. Puck shot from the point at Kern. No one in front. Routine glove save. 6-4, 10:35 left to play. Faceoff forthcoming in the Michigan zone. Garrett Shifsky with his 8th goal of the year. DJ Hughes wins the faceoff in his own zone. Puck given away, however, by Barnett. Jaden Perron able to win it back for the Wolverines. He has a full F seam, gets over Spence. Spence looking for Perron back, goes off the skate of Paul Fisher. Perron lays out Fisher behind the play. Cole Brown stops and dumps it down into the zone. Peck retrieves it. Halfway through the third period, 6-4. Ray Mullen bringing it out of the Michigan zone. Over to Hage, who drops it quickly off to Spence. Excuse me, that was Perron, not Hage. They lose the puck regardless, and Carter Slager comes down, looking for Jane Davis. Jane Davis back along the backboards. Jovanovic was trying to fire it out in front. It was blocked by a Michigan defender. Now it's Henry Nelson at center ice. He brings the puck through. Ben Robertson takes it away on the pass, who lifts it up and out of the zone. And Millenhauer's going to race back for it. He wins it back. Valentini shot. Saved by Nicholas Kempf. And we'll get stoppage. 6-4, 9:25 left to play. Shots in favor of Notre Dame, 32-28. Offensive zone face-off for the Wolverines. It will be Kanobu against Colt McKinney. Tie-up goes to the Irish, as the Irish send it all along the boards. Eventually, Valentini retrieves possession, sends it over to Drew Schock. Schock back to Valentini. Valentini tries to get his forehand, blows the tire and hits the ice. McKinney working with Valentini in the corner. Puck comes out of the Irish. It's Werner now racing. He's been quiet really the past period or so after starting the game hot. Fantilli tries to go off the boards and now is kept in by Kumlin for the Irish. Shifsky eventually wins the battle against Werner, his former line mate. Shifsky shoots, saved by Nicholas Kempf, who denies him of the hat trick. And another offensive zone face-off for the Wolverines. 6-4, 8:35 to play. Regardless, what a response by the Wolverines, specifically their offense, right? Jack Ivankovic goes down. You know you're going to need to score goals, support your goaltender, Stephen Peck. Very impressive.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Showed a lot of fight today in his first start of the season.
Draper wins the faceoff for the Wolverines. Out to Fantilli at the point. He fires one high. Duke retrieves the rebound. Shifsky sends it back along the boards. It's Draper now working behind the net. Him and Park trying to fight. The Irish eventually come away with it. Fantilli keeps the puck in the zone for a brief minute before Brendan Ali taps it out. Ali now racing in Michigan zone. Stops on a dime in the corner. Fires it back to Paul Fisher at the point. He fires one. Keenan Draper blocks it. And now it's Malcolm Spence and Will Horkoff. Tyler Duke as the trailer. They get it. Duke fires wide. And up and out of play. Off the boards and out. Oh, excuse me, no. Everybody stopped for a minute. It was up and out of the boards. Play still going. Max Fleming dumps into the Michigan zone. Tyler Duke had a golden opportunity and just sailed it. As the puck being bounced around the neutral zone, Will Horkoff eventually gains possession, finds Barnett. Barnett goes D to Ryan Mullen. Ryan Mullen back to Barnett. Barnett up to Perron. Perron has Hagen, Horkoff with it. Perron opts to shoot, fires wide. Puck continues bouncing around. Perron wins it over Barnett. Barnett drives towards the net, goes around behind it. Gets out to Ryan Mullen at the point. Hage and Henry Nelson, get tangled up behind the play as the Irish were racing through the neutral zone. Hage trying to go to the bench is being pulled by the referee towards the box. So Michael Hage and Henry Nelson each receive 2-minute minors with 6:59 remaining in the third period, and Michigan leading 6-4.
Yeah, just yet another penalty from each team as we continue to close out this game, and it's been quite an eventful one throughout these almost 60 minutes of play here in Ann Arbor.
I believe this is the third or fourth instance we'll have 4-on-4 in this game, something that you don't see too often. Granted, it happens a little bit more often in terms of 4-on-4 play in the second game of the series, when each team, just played the night before. Probably things were said in that game, things have probably been said in this game, getting a little chippy for sure. Face-off will come into the neutral zone. It'll be TJ Hughes working against Knubel. As Henry Nelson and Michael Hayes sit in the penalty box. Irish win the draw. As Danny Nelson races up the ice. Looking backdoor for Knubel, who gets his stick knocked out of him by TJ Hughes. Jaden Perron has a breakaway. Shoots, fires, scores! Jaden Perron with a very sweet move on an outlet pass. Little toe drag swag, going back against the grain, firing it low on Nicholas Kempf, a 7-4 lead now for the Wolverines.
That's a brilliant goal. It looked good the whole stretch down. Execution absolutely flawless, and the junior out of Winnipeg has his first goal tonight.
7-4 lead for the Wolverines. 6:36 left in the third period. A minute and 37 seconds left of 4-on-4 time. The Irish win the face-off once again. They need a miracle comeback to force overtime. As here comes Werner out of his own zone and into the Michigan zone. Werner drifts, glides, finds Carlisle. He fires wide. Excuse me, that was Jadon Kerr. Mastro Dominico retrieves the puck, brings it out of his own zone. Werner gets leveled at center ice by Moldenhauer. Jadon Kerr tries to get past Robertson, who sticks him. As that pass from Ray and Moldenhauer is just a little too long, and it's going to be an icing. Getting a little chippy between Werner and his former teammates as the game goes on. Valentini loses a draw. It's Yursev at the point. Fires one in, saved by Peck. Rebound controlled by Moldenhauer in the corner. Finds it Ben Robertson, who's going to allow Moldenhauer to go off the ice, and here comes out TJ Hughes. 30 seconds left of 4-on-4 time. 5.5 minutes left to play in the game. 7-4, Wolverines lead. Perron, the most recent goal scorer, drifts through the net, finds Robertson, passes just a little behind him and went off his skate. Unfortunately, that would have been the 8th goal of the night for the Wolverines if they had been able to convert that. As the puck just bouncing around the Michigan zone. TJ Hughes corrals it, Perron's demanding it. As Hughes will skate through. Gains the zone. Back to even strength. 7-4, under 5 minutes to go. As Danny Nelson working against Tyler Duke. Eventually, puck is stolen away by Perron. Perron over to Duke, over to Hughes. Hughes to Hage. Hage is going to dump it behind the Irish net. Horkoff there. Horkoff to Hage. Pass deflected. 4:30 left to play in this one. Horkoff trying to find Hage in the slot. Ryan Mullen drifting, gliding, gets out of the zone. Unfortunately, comes right back into Cole Knuble, who gets the puck stolen away from him. Jane Davis wins it back in the neutral zone. He fires, blocked by Ryan Mullen, corralled by Tyler Duke. Duke lifts it up and out of the zone. We'll come back all the way into the Michigan end for icing. 7-4 Wolverines lead, 4:05 left to play. Can expect Nicholas Kemp to come out of the net at some point, most likely within the next minute or so, as Notre Dame tries to launch a comeback. McKinney working against Davis. Tie-up goes to the Irish once again as Cole Brown, racing through the neutral zone, dumps it in. Drew Schock temporarily wins the race against Darshall Oliver before Davis is able to intercept the pass up to Shifsky along the boards. Robertson, nifty move. Up to Ian Park, who's able to clear. Trying to spring McKinney. It was offsides anyway. Puck is frozen by Nicholas Kemp. We've got brawl going on here at the blue line of the Michigan end. Shifsky's got down. There's a Notre Dame player. That is Caden Carlisle with his helmet off.
Yeah, Dave, probably very potential that some of the emotions from earlier in the second period still very fresh, and obviously lots of frustration for the Fighting Irish as well as letting this
Garrett
game
Shifsky has been sent off, so there you go. There's one. Aiden Park's helmet's on the ice. He's on the bench. Drew Schock has also been sent off. Caden Carlisle's off on the other end.
But definitely not what you want to do if you're Michigan, especially being up by 3 goals kind of at the end of this game is basically over. It's just unprofessional to continue to act that way, being up 3 goals, having this game put away, and just getting ejected in the final minutes doesn't look good, especially considering moving on further into the season. These last few minutes really don't mean too much for the Wolverines.
Garrett Shifsky, Drew Schock have been sent to the Michigan locker room. Caden Carlisle has been sent to the Notre Dame locker room. Aiden Park is on the bench with his helmet off. Colton McKinney and Darshall Oliver are in the box as they're reviewing. So we're going to get a host of penalties here. McKinney
They may send him off as well.
is also getting sent off. He initially got a minor. So that is 3 Wolverines players sent off, along with Earnesty. That makes for 4 ejections here tonight for the Wolverines. 3:39 left to play. And the referee that just led Colt McKinney off said, Darshall Oliver get out of the box, head to the locker room. So now Oliver's off the ice. Looking like a very thin bench for the Wolverines. Not exactly sure which kind of started the scrum. There's also a little bit of a scrum going down over here, as Nicholas Kemp had frozen the puck initially. So for the 5th or 6th time tonight, we get a long review.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It may mar what has really been a very dominant and exciting performance for the Wolverines here in the dying embers of this game.
Michigan had their 2-goal lead cut to 1 at 5-4, and since have responded with 2 goals, one from Garrett Shifsky, one from Jane Perron. As the replay official has been busy tonight for sure. And the officials will officially come back onto the ice, so we will see what's going on. Aiden Park got leveled, which initially started the scrum. That's why his helmet was off. So let's see what's called here from the officials. Okay, so here's where we stand. Multiple 10-minute game misconducts. Those players have not been ejected. They have just been sent to the locker room because they won't. It doesn't matter. There's only 3.5 minutes left in the game. Caden Carlisle was also sent to the locker room. He had the 5-minute major. So it's going to be a power play, 5-on-4 for the remainder of the game for the Wolverines. So 3:39. We're getting set to restart with the Wolverines' top power play unit out on the ice. Still waiting to drop the puck. As somebody else has just been sent off. That's Jadon Kerr, who may have been involved in the previous scrum and had just been able to kind of sneak on the ice. So Axel Kumlin comes in for Kerr. So now we are ready to restart. Power play for the Wolverines, leading 7-4, 3:39 to go. Puck comes out at Perron at the blue line. Back over to Valentini. Down into Horkoff. TJ Hughes in the bumper. Playing catch. Valentini and Horkoff. Valentini back to Horkoff. Horkoff over to Hage. Hage back to Perron at the point. Perron over to Hage. Hage to Horkoff. Horkoff shoots. Puck saved, and Valentini gets the rebound. TJ Hughes behind the net. Over to Hage. 3 minutes to go. Hage over Hughes. Hughes looking for Valentini backdoor, unable to get there. And puck will be cleared the length of the ice by the Irish. Peck settles things down. 7-4 Wolverines lead. 2:45 left to play in this one on the power play. Michael Hage over Valentini. Valentini across the ice to TJ Hughes. TJ Hughes was trying to get it to Horkoff on a little saucer pass, unable to do so. No matter, the puck is retrieved by Hage. Hage in the corner, drifting now. Finds Perron at the point. Perron over back to Hage at the right dot. Hage over to Hughes. Hughes settles it. Left dot, Hughes passes intercepted by Mazzotti. Mazzotti coming now. Has Knuble with him. Gets it over, but pass is tipped by Perron. And now the Wolverines back the under end. Just over 2 minutes to play. Hughes to Horkoff. Horkoff dangles. Looking for Valentini. Can't get to him. Ray Mullen chips it back down into Hage. Hage to Hughes. Hage got leveled behind the play. Ray Mullen sends it on net. Saved by Kempf. 7-4, 150 left to play. The entirety which will be on the power play for the Wolverines. Hughes and Ray Mullen play catch. And Hage gets cross-checked again into the boards. Valentini's over there. And now here comes Horkoff. And we've got another scrum here. As that might have been Mazzotti initially. Hage got cross-checked once, didn't like it. Then got cross-checked the second time. Didn't like that one even less. Horkoff and Valentini were the first ones over there to jump on what appears to be Mazzotti. Officials having a little bit of trouble breaking things up. As now, Knoble will be sent off, as will Mazzotti. So 2 more ejections here for the fun of it. The officials are trying to keep all the Wolverines on the ice that were on the ice. The officials pleading with Horkoff to get off the ice. So Horkoff will also be ejected. And Dakota Ram-Mullen goes off with him. To cheers from the Yost crowd. Valentini and TJ Hughes for the moment are still on the ice. Hughes is pleading with the official about something. So we got 2 ejections there from Notre Dame, 2 from Michigan. Hughes and Valentini are kind of hanging out. The door to the locker room is still open.
Looks like he sent them off.
Looks like 2 more. So Hughes and Valentini have also been sent off. As Ram-Mullen was getting sent off, he gave a little heads off to the officials. This might be the smallest bench I've ever seen at a hockey game. So I believe so it's going to be 5-on-3. Michigan has 5 players on the ice. They have 6 skaters on the bench and the 3rd string goaltender, Julian Molinaro. So 7 total guys on the bench. I have never seen this before in a hockey game.
Yeah, this is a one of a kind event here. I really thought that we would just play out these last few minutes, but it's probably been some of the most eventful things that I've seen in the dying embers of a hockey game that has a 3-point deficit for the trailing team.
I believe that makes it 8 ejections for the Wolverines tonight, as Aiden Park loses the face-off. Puck eventually comes out. Moldenhauer at the point. 1:35 left to play, 7-4. Ben Robertson over Fantilli. Fantilli to Moldenhauer. He shoots. Kev had no idea where it was. Fortunately for the Irish, it went wide. Back out to Fantilli at the point. Fantilli over Ben Robertson. Robertson down to Malcolm Spence. That's Park trying to chip away, get his hat trick. 1:10 left. Fantilli sends it back in. Puck bouncing around in front of the net, trying to get over to Park, cannot. And Danny Nelson now will just clear it. 1 minute left to play in this one. 7-4, Wolverines 5-on-3. Fantilli to Hage. Hage, the only member of that power play not to get ejected in that previous sequence. Fantilli over Ben Robertson. Fantilli to Michael Hage at the left dot. Sends it back to Fantilli. He's going to play back to Hage. Hage trying to get a Draper in the slot. Unable to do so. 30 seconds left. Robertson to Fantilli. Fantilli back to Robertson. Once more to Fantilli. Over at Hage at the left dot. Fantilli's going to switch places with Hage. Draper trying to get in down low. And puck is going to be cleared by the Irish. Irish change, 15 seconds left. 12, 11. Hage racing up the ice. Hage over Draper, back to Perron. He shoots, blocked. And now Danny Nelson coming the other way for the Irish. 3, 1. Peck makes a save as time expired, and that will do it. 7-4. Wolverines win. That has to feature a record number of ejections here in the Big Ten and a record low of players on the bench. Caleb, your final thoughts on this one?
What a game we witnessed here in Ann Arbor. Great one as always. Always great to see 2 iconic schools go at it on the ice. Just a great rivalry all around, especially here at Yost. great dominance as always from the Wolverines. They've shown tonight, as they have in the past, just why they're the number one team in the nation right now. The domination on both sides on the puck, on both sides of the puck, has been flawless, and they've really demonstrated why they're the best team in the nation. And unfortunately for the Irish, it's kind of been the story of their season to come up unsuccessful once again after having let a game that was once really close kind of slowly slip away in that third period. But we saw a lot of eventful things all around. Almost as many ejections as goals scored tonight from both teams, as well as a young freshman goalie who was willing to step in tonight and showed undeniable poise. And that's been the story of tonight, keeping the Irish at bay. What a story tonight, and that's a reminder of why we love this game so much. It never gets old.
Heck had 18 saves in the win after coming in relief of Ivan Kovic. The Wolverines had 5 different goal scorers tonight. Garrett Shifsky and Aiden Park each had 2 goals. They added an assist for good measure. Jaden Perron, Nick Mullenhauer, and Michael Hage each had 1. Wolverines earned the sweep at Yost to start the new year. Next week, they'll be on the road at Minnesota. Thank you for joining us here on WCBN Sports for tonight's game. As always, for Caleb Brown, I'm Perry Mourtzinos, signing out. And as always, we'll leave you with, as we always do, with a good night and a Go Blue.
Go Blue.